Chapter 8. Entering the Third Dimension, Cameras and Lights. Section 8.1. The 3D Switch, Converting 2D Layers into 3D Space. Section 8.2. Working with Virtual Cameras, Depth of Field and Focus Distances. Section 8.3. Lighting Your Scene, Spot, Point, Ambient, and Parallel Lights. Section 8.4. The Multiview Workspace, Navigating 3D Space from Top, Side, and Active Angles. In Chapter 7, we mastered the fourth dimension, time. We learned to freeze it, stretch it, and warp it to serve our narrative. Now, we are going to break the glass of your monitor and reach inside. We are tackling space. For the first 7 chapters, we played on a flat surface. Like moving pieces of paper on a desk, our layers only went up, down, left, or right. But After Effects has a secret engine under the hood that turns that flat desk into a deep stage. Entering 3D space is often the most intimidating leap for a new motion designer. Suddenly, your X and Y axes are joined by a mysterious Z axis. Things disappear, lights don't work the way you expect, and navigating feels disjointed. Do not worry. I remember the first time I turned a layer into 3D, I felt like I had lost control of my composition. But once you understand the logic, which is remarkably similar to the real world, you unlock the ability to create cinematic depth, parallax, and immersion that 2D simply cannot achieve. In this chapter, we will build a diorama. We will convert flat layers into 3D objects, film them with virtual cameras, and light them like a film set. 8.1 The 3D Switch, Converting 2D Layers into 3D Space. The gateway to the third dimension is surprisingly small. It is a tiny cube icon in your timeline switches. Clicking this doesn't instantly extrude your text into a block, that's a different engine. Rather, it allows your flat layer to exist in deep space. Think of it like holding a postcard. In 2D, the postcard is taped to a wall. You can slide it up or sideways. When you turn on the 3D switch, you unstitch it from the wall. Now, you can push it away from you, pull it closer, or rotate it so you can see its edge. The Z-axis and the gizmo. Figure, ultra-detailed screenshot of the After Effects timeline panel focusing on the layer switches. Highlight the 3D layer switch, the cube icon, being toggled on for a text layer. Show the transform properties expanded, revealing the new Z rotation and orientation fields, and the position property split into X, Y, and Z values. The interface should be dark mode, high contrast, clean UI. Once you click that cube icon, look at your composition panel. You will see a colorful set of arrows appear on your layer. This is the 3D gizmo. The red arrow represents X, left right. The green arrow represents Y, up down. The blue arrow is your new best friend, the Z-axis, near far. Dragging the blue arrow pushes the layer further away into the distance or pulls it right up to the lens. This is true depth, not just scaling a layer down to fake it. Layer ordering in 3D. Figure, close-up diagram of the 3D axis gizmo on a selected layer in the composition viewer. Label the red arrow X, horizontal, the green arrow Y, vertical, and the blue arrow Z, depth distance. Show a semi-transparent grid in the background to represent 3D space perspective. Here is a critical concept that trips up veterans and beginners alike. In the 2D world, layer order is king, layer 1 always sits on top of layer 2. In 3D space, distance is king. If layer 5 is positioned closer to the camera, a negative Z value, than layer 1, layer 5 will appear in front. This allows you to arrange elements organically, like furniture in a room, rather than shuffling layers in a stack. 8.2 Working with virtual cameras, Depth of Field and Focus Distances. Now that we have depth, looking at it through a static screen feels limiting. We need a camera. The After Effects camera mimics a real-world DSLR, complete with aperture, focal length, and blur. To add a camera, go to Layer New Camera. You will be greeted with a dialog box full of optical terms. 1-node versus 2-node cameras. Figure, screenshot of the camera settings dialog box in After Effects. Highlight the type drop-down, 1-node versus 2-node, and the Enable Depth of Field checkbox. Callouts explaining focal length, e.g., 50 mm, and aperture. You have two choices for camera behavior. One node camera. Imagine holding a camera in your hand. If you turn left, the camera looks left. It rotates around itself. This is great for handheld looks or drone-style flyovers. Two-node camera. This adds a point of interest, POI. Imagine a camera on a tripod continuously staring at a specific actor. Even if you move the camera physically to the left, it will swivel to keep staring at that actor. I recommend starting with a two-node camera. It makes orbiting around text or logos much more intuitive because the camera stays locked on your subject. Mastering depth of field, DOF. This is the Hollywood look everyone wants. Depth of field blurs objects that are not in focus, guiding the viewer's eye. To make this work, you need three things. 1. Enable depth of field in the camera settings. 2. Set your focus distance to match the Z position of your subject. 3. Increase the aperture. Think of aperture like the pupil of your eye. A low number, small pupil, keeps everything sharp. A high number, dilated pupil, creates a shallow focus, where the background turns into creamy blur, bokeh. Figure, a side-by-side comparison of a 3D scene with text layers at different distances. Left side, depth of field OFF, everything sharp. Right side, depth of field ON with high aperture, foreground text sharp, background text heavily blurred. Arrows indicating the focus plane. 8.3 Lighting your scene, spot, point, ambient, and parallel lights. A 3D layer without light looks flat and uninteresting. It has no shading. By adding lights, layer new light, we introduce drama, mood, and realism. After Effects offers 4 distinct light types. Choosing the right one is crucial for your visual style. The 4 light types. Spot. Think of a flashlight or a stage spotlight. It emits a cone of light that fades at the edges. It is directional and dramatic. You can control the cone angle and the feather, softness, of the edge. Point. This is a bare light bulb hanging in space. It shoots light in all directions, omnidirectional, from a specific point. Great for simulating candles, glowing orbs, or lamps. Parallel. Imagine the sun. The light rays are parallel, coming from infinitely far away. It casts uniform light across the whole scene from a specific direction. Ambient. This is the general room tone. It has no source and casts no shadows. It simply brightens every pixel equally. Use this sparingly to fill in shadows so they aren't pitch black. Figure. Visual matrix showing a simple 3D sphere lit by the 4 different light types. 1. Spot. Distinct circle of light on the sphere. 2. Point. Sphere lit from center fading outward. 3. Parallel. Uniform directional lighting. 4. Ambient. Flat. Washed out look. Labels underneath each sphere. Casting shadows. Lights are useless without shadows. However, shadows are turned off by default to save processing power. To see shadows, you must do a double handshake. In the light options, check Casts Shadows, on. Select your 3D layer, the text or shape, press AA to open Material Options, and check Casts Shadows, on. If you forget step 2, and I often do, you will spend 10 minutes wondering why your spotlight looks fake. 8.4 The Multiview Workspace. Navigating 3D space. Attempting to arrange 3D objects while looking through the active camera is like trying to furnish a room while looking through a keyhole. You have no perception of true distance. To truly control 3D space, you need to change your perspective. At the bottom right of the composition panel, change the layout from 1 view to 2 views or 4 views. Figure. Screenshot of the After Effects workspace in 4 views layout. Top left. Top view, looking down like a blueprint. Top right, active camera, final render view. Bottom left, right view, side profile. Bottom right, custom view 1, isometric angle. Arrows showing how moving a layer in top view updates the active camera view. The blueprint view. I spend 80% of my 3D work time in the top view. This looks down on your scene like an architectural blueprint. In top view, you can clearly see the triangular cone of your camera and the position of your lights. You can grab a text layer and physically slide it into the camera's focus plane. Using the multiview workspace allows you to be the director and the set builder simultaneously. You can tweak the position of a light in the right view while watching the shadow update instantly in the active camera view. It bridges the gap between technical layout and artistic result. We have now broken the flat plane of the monitor. You are no longer just arranging pixels, you are building worlds. The combination of cameras, lights, and Z-space is where motion graphics starts to feel like magic. In the next chapter, we will look at one of the most powerful automated features in After Effects, expressions. We will learn how to make layers talk to each other without setting a single keyframe. Figure Mindmap, Chapter 8 3D, Cameras and Lights, Central Node, 3D Space, Branch, the 3D Switch, Node, Cube Icon, Node, X, Y, Z Axis, Node, Gizmo Control, Node, Layer Stacking versus Depth, Branch, Virtual Cameras, Node, 1 node versus 2 node, Node, Point of Interest, Node, Depth of Field, Leaf, Aperture, Leaf, Focus Distance, Leaf, Blur Level, Branch, Lighting Types, Node, Spot Directional Cone, Node, Point Omnidirectional, Node, Parallel Infinite Sun, Node, Ambient Flat Fill, Node, Material Options, Leaf, Cast Shadows on Off, Leaf, Light Transmission, Branch, Navigation, Node, Multiview Workspace, Node, Active Camera View, Node, Topside Views Blueprints, Node, Custom Views.